a little bit of a weight gain today, which is actually expected and is exactly what I thought would happen because the previous day had been a fasting day that I had come into, and also because I ate all that food last night.
Hey guys, so I am taking a bit of a lounge break here, just chilling with my dog Dash. And I really wanted to add a little bit to this video just to talk a little bit about what ketosis is, what the keto diet really is, and I guess a little bit of my thoughts towards it. Also, I want to talk a little bit about fasting as well. So, starting with keto, a true keto diet is somewhere between 75% to even up to 90% of your calories coming from fats. Now, most people try to do 75%, which obviously leaves you with 25% remaining calories for the day. Now, what you're going to do with that is you're going to make 20% of that be protein, and then the remaining 5% could be net carbs. Net carbs being carbohydrates minus fiber, because fiber really doesn't spike insulin at all, so or very much at all. So you don't really count that against you. So let's say you had 10 grams of carbs today and 5 of that was fiber, so you'd only have 5 grams of net carbs. Now, the thing is, you can always trade either protein or carbs for more fat. So you could do, like I said, 75%, or you could go higher than 75% by taking away from either protein or carbs. But you definitely don't want to go any higher than 20% protein or 5% carbs, just because that can elicit some insulin release. So you really don't want to do that, and that would take you out of ketosis. So the second thing I wanted to talk about was fasting. Now, I mentioned in one of the previous videos that I'm actually fairly new to the keto diet. Been doing it for a little over a month now. I had done it for a short time beforehand as well. But fasting, I'm actually much more experienced with. So I've actually been doing intermittent fasting for over 2 years now, and I love it. And that's the reason why I keep doing it, because it just made it part of my life. So what I do is I don't really keep a window. I just pretty much just skip breakfast. And I will typically start eating somewhere between 3 and 5 o'clock. Sometimes it might be just a little bit earlier. Sometimes it'll be a little bit later. It really just depends. I don't really, like I said, keep a window. But I've been loving it. I've had a lot of great results with it. It's helped me lose weight. It's helped me, in my gym performance, all that kind of stuff. So plus, the real big thing for me is I actually never really liked preparing breakfast, and I was never really hungry in the morning either. So breakfast for me was always kind of a chore, whereas with intermittent fasting, I don't have to force myself to make food or prepare anything, and then force myself to eat when I'm not really hungry. And also, it lets me eat larger meals later in the day, because once I start getting hungry and I do break my fast, it's almost like I can't stop eating. Um, so it's great for me because I can actually eat a whole lot of food, because I have all those all the calories that I would have eaten for breakfast, I'm eating later in the day. So that's what I want to say about intermittent fasting. Now, I have done a couple, or actually a few, prolonged fasting, nothing too intense, but I've done, I think, 3 or 4 stints of 3-day fasts, so completely just water fasting for 3 days. And then I've actually done, the longest was a 6-day fast. And I've honestly I did that for personal research, and I actually enjoyed it. I found with myself, and it's probably because I have been doing intermittent fasting for so long, that really only the first day is honestly the hardest. That's the day that I'm actually getting hunger pangs and stuff like that. But after the first day, it actually virtually goes away. And my first 3 day that I did, I forced myself to eat on that third day, but just to try to break the fast, because I didn't. This was new to me and all that. But honestly, I didn't have to. I didn't have hunger or anything on that third day. The 6 day fast, man, that was definitely different. I don't know if it was because of leading up to it. I might have been eating a little different, or maybe I just didn't prepare for it. Oh no, it is actually, now that I think about it, because I went on holiday and was eating pretty much anything I wanted, and I kind of did that on purpose. I gained a whole lot of weight for the week that we were gone. I think I gained like 10 pounds in a week. So then I did that 6 day fast, and mind you, this was also before I got into keto. So my experience during the 6 days was much different than 3 days prior, because I had been eating so much, put on so much weight and everything. So the 6 day was actually much harder. Whereas if I honestly believe that if I were to do a 6 day now, it wouldn't be anywhere as hard. Because one, I've been not going crazy, gaining tons of weight, and eating just whatever, like I did on prior to the 6 day, and also because this keto seems to work really well with fasting. So even now, today is my fasting day. I honestly don't have any hunger. I had maybe just a little bit earlier, but what I decided to do was drink some coffee, and honestly, that made it completely go away. I do plan on eating some shiitake noodles and broth later today, but honestly, I might not even feel hungry at that point. I think the real purpose for me is going to be just to get a little bit extra sodium in me, which will come from the broth. So I might do 2 packs of shiitake like I did on my prior fasting day, but I might not. I might not feel hungry enough to need that much, so maybe I'll just do one. We'll see. But I just want to add that in, just to say that even though I am pretty new to keto, I'm quite experienced, I guess, in fasting. So again, I've done intermittent fasting for over 2 years now, and I've done several stints of prolonged fasting. So if you have any questions about that, you can definitely throw those my way. I have definitely got some great results doing both intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting. It's definitely a different experience, but you should definitely try these after researching yourself. So definitely don't take anybody's word for anything. Definitely want to do a lot of research first, but try things out, guys, because something might work great for you that didn't work for some other person on YouTube, or they might be saying bad things about something, and for you it's amazing. So definitely try stuff out. Don't be afraid. You won't die from not eating for a day, I promise. Like I said, I've done 6 days and I did not die, obviously. I think the longest recorded fast was actually over an entire year. It was done, I think, in the 1970s by like a Swedish guy or something. And he lost like ridiculous amount of weight, like 200 pounds plus or something. And obviously he didn't die. So definitely don't be afraid of fasting. Also, every major religion has fasting as part of it. So this whole stigma that you have to eat all day, every day, or you'll die, or you'll wither away, just has no founding. It makes no sense, and really should not be believed. Don't let it get in your head, and definitely try stuff out yourself, guys. So another thing I wanted to touch on was that today, being a fasted day, is also the day after my Korean barbecue night. So I did go to the Korean barbecue and ended up actually eating quite a bit more protein than I had planned. I did hit a lot of pork belly up, but I also had some brisket and a few of the steak options as well. Just pretty much went to town. It was awesome. So what I decided to do today, being that I went over my protein plan by so much, I've actually been using more ketone strips just to see if my ketone levels go down and I've done it throughout the day. This is now the evening, and all day long they've been coming out dark red as always. So to me, that means that I really wasn't really affected by all that extra protein, which could possibly be because of the fasting day I had yesterday, then also because I'm fasting today. So that was all very interesting for me to see that that didn't actually throw me out of ketosis. Um, Another thing I wanted to mention was I went to the gym today and actually had a pretty great gym workout. So my intensity level was great, my energy levels were great, and I really didn't feel like I was negatively affected by all that extra protein yesterday, or the fact that I went most of the day yesterday in a fasted state as well, because I did have those two avocados, but that wasn't really till later, much later in the day, almost into the evening or before I went to uh, go to that Korean barbecue. So I feel like that didn't really affect me negatively. And today, my hunger levels have been great. I have not had um, to really deal with a whole lot of hunger pangs. So that was a very interesting thing as well. Another reason I decided to actually go out to eat the Korean barbecue was to see again if that affected me, my ketosis, but also to see if that is something that could be incorporated in this diet. Can you actually still have a social life? Can you go out to eat and not have to go, worry too crazy about it or anything like that? Which would be great. If this diet can be just sustainable and livable, really, then it would be a whole lot easier to adhere to. So that was definitely one thing that I wanted to add into this diet. Another thing that's going to be coming up is I actually have plans to go out to eat on Wednesday, which on this rotation is actually supposed to be a fasting day. So my choices are either to go back to back on a fasting or back to back on feasting. And I think what I'm going to do is actually do back to back on feasting. That way, if something comes up in your personal life like this, you don't have to be like, oh crap, now I gotta eat, or now I gotta fast for 2 straight days. And oh no, I think I'm gonna do again 2 days of fat or feasting, and see how that affects me. So I think that if there was 2 days of fasting straight, that would actually be pretty intimidating maybe, and kind of a deterrent to adhere to the diet, whereas this would be much more easy to follow, more people would be more compliant, I believe, and really would keep it from being too miserable, I guess, in adhering to the diet. So I definitely think that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 feasting days in a row and see what the outcome of that is as well.